Hello, my name is Jill.
And my name is Jordan. We are with UTO Training. Welcome to ASU's HIPAA training.
Today we will discuss the 8 various topics of HIPAA. First, we will answer the question, what is HIPAA? HIPAA is the acronym referring to the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, which was enacted in 1996. HIPAA is designed to improve efficiency and effectiveness of the healthcare system. The Department of Health and Human Services, Office of Civil Rights administer and enforces the law.
There are 5 main purposes of HIPAA: to provide continuity and portability, to combat fraud and abuse, to provide uniform standards, to reduce administrative expenses, and to ensure security and privacy. Now we will take a look at a quick overview video of HIPAA.
In 1996, the U.S. Congress enacted HIPAA, or the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. This act governs the use, transfer, and disclosure of health-related information. One of the requirements of HIPAA is the protection of protected health information, known as PHI. PHI is defined as any piece of individually identifiable health information, such as a person's medical records or healthcare payments. The protection requirement applies to organizations like ours that store, process, or transfer patient information in electronic, paper, or oral form. The HIPAA regulations have been amended and updated many times. The most significant update happened on February 17, 2009, when President Barack Obama signed the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2009 into law. This included the Health Information Technology for Economic and Clinical Health Act, also known as the HITECH Act. The HITECH Act is the same law that created the Electronic Health Records Incentive Program, as well as the HIPAA Breach Notification Rule. The Breach Notification Rule requires that covered entities and business associates must provide notification of a breach to affected individuals, the Secretary of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and, in certain circumstances, the media. Safeguarding PHI is an important regulatory requirement for organizations like ours. In the video Data Security, you learned steps for protecting sensitive information. The same steps apply to protecting PHI. However, there are some additional steps that apply when you handle PHI. Only share patient data with authorized personnel who have a need to know. You must obtain the individual's written authorization for any use or disclosure of PHI that is not for direct care or treatment. A central aspect of HIPAA is the principle of minimum necessary use and disclosure. You must make reasonable efforts to use, disclose, and request only the minimum amount of PHI needed to accomplish the intended purpose of the use, disclosure, or request. In addition to these regulations, there are other healthcare regulatory groups who produce information security guidelines to protect patient privacy and safety. Entities such as the Joint Commission, also known as JCAHO, and the U.S. Food and Drug Administration publish their own standards and best practices for how an organization should protect PHI. It is important that our organization remains compliant with industry and regulatory standards. By respecting these guidelines, you help ensure that our organization protects PHI and we remain compliant with industry and regulatory standards.